global public is not ready to have global confirmation of this, a lot of disturbing things will occur. It's just too powerful.
Skinwalker Ranch. This is like the Area 51 of the paranormal.
It was not a single phenomenon. There were a host of things that happened.
Have there been experiences there that have shaken the Pentagon and CIA and other agencies? Absolutely.
Nobody knows what we're dealing with. That's the bottom line. Nobody knows.
This is 30 or 40 hours of material that the public has never seen before.
They saw this humanoid creature crawling through this tunnel, hovering 4 feet above the ground.
Something forced 4 2,000-pound bulls to cram themselves into this trailer without opening this door. It's completely impossible.
I've seen things that I can't explain.
This was one of the most surprising things that we recorded right after I purchased the ranch.
Is it real?
Oh yes, I believe it is.
Something is here.
These are real, tangible, physical events. This is game-changing.
It's one thing to be reading about UFOs or other realities or interdimensionals. It's another thing to be staring at it right in the face.
Oh, God.
Hey. How you doing, fams? My subs? Something different today. 1930s, 34 till 94, the Myers owned this property for 60 years. Then from 94 to 96, the Shermans owned this property. Then after that, a billionaire called Bigelow. From 96 to 2016, owned this property. And then his mate, Fugel, bought it from 2016 to present day. Now this property is a ranch, 450 acres in the Utah Basin in America. West. And why are we talking about it? Is because someone was asking me, what's the most paranormal place on their planet? And apparently it's the Skinwalker Ranch. Now what is a skinwalker? Native Americans say it's a spirit. They curse another tribe for dealing with the enemy, Europeans, I think the story goes. So they cursed them with the Skinwalker. And the Skinwalker is a being that changes shape. It can be anything, from a wolf to an eagle, to a bear, to a human. It's evil. So why did they call it Skinwalker Ranch? Is because it was cursed with the Skinwalker by the local tribes, the Native Americans. Now, there's always been paranormal activity there. It's only that when the Myers was there, they only told the locals. So it was a very localized paranormal area. Nothing put in public domain. Until the Shermans turned up. He only wanted a farm, a ranch, him and his family. Story goes, when he turned up, unloading his cattle, this big wolf, bigger than hip high, crept up to him and his family while he was unloading the cattle. And he was so docile that they thought it was somebody's pet. Imagine that. Yeah, next door. What about him? Have you seen him? No. Well, what are you bringing him up for? Have you seen his pet? What pet? It's a wolf. You what? Yeah. Stay away when there's a full moon. Anyway. Docile wolf walking up to him, patting it on its head. Ran up to the cattle, some calf, clung its jaws around the cattle's head, the calf's head, and tried to drag him out of the cage. So, Mr. Sherman got his gun. Bang, 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 bang. No effect. Carried on trying to pull this poor calf's head. So then I think he told his son to get his rifle. So he got his rifle. No effect. That time, I think there were 6 shots. That time a piece of fur went poof, like in a cartoon. And then wolf turned and trotted away. So then they went after it. As they were following it, this is early hours of the evening, so it was getting dark, they followed it down to a waterhole or a river, a creek, and it disappeared. So they went back. There was a horrible smell in the air. They got this lump of fur. They should have kept it. And that was of the start of things to come. Then after that, Mrs. Sherman would go shopping, come back, put everything in the cupboards, go toilet, come downstairs, everything's back out of the cupboards again on a table. She's like, someone's playing a game here. This can't be right. Happened on more than one occasion. Banging, clanging, noises. Then they were building. They was told by a local, by the way, not to dig. So they was building and digging. And then their post hole digger, it's like a big shovel, I think. Heavy. Disappeared. So they're like, oh, what are we going to do? And they're like, I don't know. Move all of that wood over there. They said, all right. So they moved about 250 kilos of logs to one side of the property. They went in, when they came back, they would have been moved again within like a half hour. Took them a day to do it. So they went, Dad. So I was moved the logs. And they're like, what? And then he looked up there and went, yeah. What's my post hole digger doing up a tree, 20 foot up? Apparently it was quite heavy. So I don't know how it got up there. These are just a few more strange occurrences. Then they had crop circles, and then orbs were appearing. Strange lights at night. They used to sit down on the veranda, look up in the sky, stargaze, and then see all of these orbs floating about. And then he'd say to his son, do you remember the day we moved in? He's like, yeah. So, well, every single door inside the house, every single cupboard inside the house, every single window and door inside and outside the house had locks on, bolts with padlocks. Don't know what that was for. I don't know what the Myers were playing at. They were there for 60 years. Never heard their story. Hard to get up, find. There was also 2 link chains on the outside of the building with chains that held dogs. Must have been Alsatians. That was the Myers. The Shermans took them all down. But tragically, these orbs were appearing, and then they went down the bottom end of the ranch. So the dogs chased them, and then at the dead of night they heard squealing, yelping, as dogs do in pain. So Sherman and his son went out there the next day and found 3 piles of goo. It's not funny. Stop laughing. It's true. So what happened to those dogs? Did they turn those 3 dogs into 3 piles of goo? Don't think he got pets after that. But he was there for 2 years, and 2 years he had lots of cattle mutilations, which wasn't good. There was a time him and his wife left the ranch. They come back and there are 2 or 3 prized bulls. A lot of money. Disappeared. And they're looking around and looking around, couldn't find them, head nor tail. So to get a better view, Mr. Sherman climbed up on a porter cabin that was been padlocked. He's never been in it, and barbed wire around the door so no one could get in it. And when he went up, climbed up top, was looking around for them, something made him look down through the skylight. You guessed it. The 3 bulls were inside the porter cabin. And he's thinking, nah. No way. Hell no. How did they get in there? It was padlocked. Barbed wire around the door. So what happened was, he must have spooked them, because he started shouting for his wife to come and have a look. And they woke up like they were in a trance, so they booted their way out of it. They're 2-ton beasts. Big beasts. Biggest balls you can get. Big necks. Kicked open the doors and flew out. Not flew, but jumped out. Lots of strange occurrences. So I went to the newspaper. The newspaper broadcasted it, put it out there, published it. And on another occasion, a man passed their ranch, said, "Can I come and meditate?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, mate. Whatever you say, mate. 3 bags full, mate." Thought, nutter. So said, "Go and meditate." So the man went into the field on his ranch to meditate at night. Then they saw the shadow, like a shadow being, and they're shouting at him, "Run, run, run." So he gets his gun, doesn't shoot because the man's out there. The man comes running back saying, "You've been doing witchcrafts, this, that and that and this." Done a runner. And the shadow being disappeared. On another occasion, they saw a car driving over their ranch, and they're like, "Oh, not again. Thieves." So they went there to find who it was, and on closer inspection, it wasn't a car. It was a box-like object with lights, and it started hovering above the trees and then just darted off in outer space. I know what you're thinking. This family a bunch of cranks. Well, Bigelow, who's I think was an ex-casino boss, owner in Las Vegas, billionaire, I think his story is when he was younger, he had a UFO experience. And I've always been interested, because they do have the Bigelow Foundation now. And if you call up the military, the police, your local authority in America and want to tell them about a UFO sighting, they put you through to, you guessed it, Bigelow. So he bought the ranch off of the Shermans. They couldn't live there no more, not after their dogs had died. So Sherman still wanted to work on the ranch, and things were happening still. Bigelow brought his equipment in and filmed it. The cameras would be cut off. Employees would be getting radiation poisoning. There was a thing about an employee died. There was another employee that seen creatures like Bigfoot coming out of a portal and going back into a portal on a few occasions. And if you say, well, where's the facts, where's the evidence? Unfortunately, it's all hearsay. You have to take their word for it. But there are tapes of the cattle mutilations, witnesses, and there's a theory behind that too. The theory is there was a lot of testing in the 50s, nuclear missiles, and people like the CIA, Men in Black, go around cutting an ear off, the tongue off of a cow, because they hold the most part of radiation in the body. And they obviously, if they were tested in the 50s, wanted to know how much radiation there is still in the vicinity after 50, 60, 70 years. So there was no blood by the cattle. Half the cattle have been missing. Still no blood around the area. Like it's been picked up, sorted out and just dropped somewhere. No one ever saw them. Sometimes would happen within 20 minutes of seeing the cow. And that was when Bigelow was there. So Bigelow, after 20 years, done what he had to do, sold it to another man called Fugel, who owns it to the present day. And you can see his show online, the History Channel, Skinwalker Ranch. Now, it's very good. 7 episodes that I've seen. And lots to it. Whether or not you believe it or not is another thing. Because I don't believe the media, what they say, one bit. And neither should you. You should do your own homework. But it's a good show. But that is the most paranormal hotspot on the planet, according to the people that have investigated it. It's a basin, and it obviously, because all the locals have been talking about it for hundreds of years, all strange things happen, and that's before the nuclear testing of missiles miles away. So you can't blame that. But the stories do get more out there, like a couple of military staff was driving and saw 2 men in black having a fag by the roadside, and upon passing by they looked closer. They were smoking cows. Yeah, cows, cattle, standing up there having a fag. They're like, Billy, did you see that? He's like, Ted, smoking cows. Do you think they were high? Possibly. maybe the area has got a hallucinogenic drug in the vicinity. Maybe there's a fungus that produces hallucinogens in the air that makes people hallucinate. If the weather is right, the circumstances are right, the conditions are right, it might release a hormone, might release spores that you breathe in and start hallucinating. We do know it's very radioactive around the area. But yeah, do your homework, have a look at Skinwalker Ranch. It's never ending. It's a fantastic place. It's got poltergeists to Bigfoot, to portals, crop circles, cattle mutilations, UFO sightings, orbs, the lot. The lot. A couple of people died there. It's got curses of the Native Americans that don't want to go there. Half of them don't want to talk about it. Between two tribes. But yeah, that's Skinwalker Ranch. So have a look at it, check it out, and sub, like, share. And without you and the fam, I wouldn't be doing the videos. But live long and prosper.